Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Divine Design Podcast. I'm your host, Chrissy Morales. All right, guys, today we're going to be talking about emotions. We all have them. What do you do with them? And here's what I mean by that. So I'm going to let you know, I went to go see Stephen Furtick last night, went with a friend. We had a great time. He had a great message. If you don't know who he is, look him up. He in DFW, he was at the American Airlines Center and he had a packed house. I really didn't expect that. I didn't know what to expect. Honestly, I didn't even know what to expect to experiencing the whole night. But it was a lot of praise and worship. And then he came on and gave his message. So what I did notice by looking around the crowd and seeing the packed house, that things are moving and shaking. I know that things are going on in our world right now that are really very interesting. We'll do a podcast about that later. I'll probably have some people and interview them about really what's going on, AI, government, war, things that are going on in our world. But here's what I want to talk about. So all in all, went to Stephen Furtick last night, and there was a guy in the band, and he had a sweatshirt on, and it said, "Emotions are fleeting." And I thought, that's very interesting because I'd already been praying, journal, and meditating about what this topic was going to be today, and it was going to be about our emotions. And in today's day and age, with social media, everybody kind of out there, Facebook, our lives are now being looked at. Think about years ago, no platforms like that. So everybody's lives, you're putting a screenshot of your life globally for everybody to see. And really what happens is we kind of put highlights of our life, good things, not really behind the scene things, truth, what's really going on. And that could be truth for you. So I'm not going to say that all of it is not real, but most people, what I mean by that, are going to put their best foot forward on social media platforms, whatever that may be. Now, I want to let you know that we're going to bring it authentically, raw and real, whatever that may be. You've seen me. I'm not somebody that gets angry. Like, I'm not a very angry person all the time. I know some people that are. You've seen me cry on this channel. You've seen me do different things. But here's what I want to talk about, your emotions. So I want you to know, by actually walking through the journey of doing the 12 steps. I mean, you guys, you're going to hear me talk about the 12 steps again and again and again. And the reason why you are, because it's significantly changing my life. And here's the thing, it can significantly change your life, your connection with the Lord, being able to dig down deep on yourself, to check yourself daily about the decisions that you make. Did I harm anybody? Did I hurt anybody? To actually ask for forgiveness from that, not only from the Lord, but maybe you go and make amends to that person. And this is about having a true connection with the Lord, but also creating meaningful relationships with people and being honest with yourself, which allows you to be honest with other people. And here's the thing, we lie to ourselves all the time. We may not even know that we're lying to ourselves, because you know what? Lies become truths. And if you look at our world today, government, news, lies are becoming truths. Truths are becoming lies. That's what it looks like. Everything is so messed up. It's flip-flopped. It's backwards. And so talking about your emotions. So, we travel through our day daily, and we have emotions. We have tons of emotions each and every day. And that shirt saying emotions are fleeting, meaning, but what emotions do? They pass. So let's say somebody says something to you and it sparks anger in you, and you react. Maybe you say something nasty to them, maybe you don't. But whatever that may be, meaning somebody says something to make you angry, have you ever asked yourself, why does that make me angry? And that's what I'm talking about. Emotions are fleeting, and being able to truly control your emotions and to be logical in the decisions that you make for your life and to be logical in your responses. What's funny is my boyfriend, Tim, we talk about this all the time. I mean, this guy is way spiritually grown than I am. I'm a baby in comparison to him. And so, I check myself, but there's some times where he checks me. He's like, hey, I noticed this, and this about you, or you're being extremely emotional right this second. And maybe you need to, take a look, go inward, sit down for 1 second, just get calm, and why don't you pray, journal, and meditate? And when you're in an emotional state, sometimes you might be like, you know what? You can shove my journal up your butt, or whatever. Now that's being emotional and that's responding. It's actually reacting, to somebody. And what I'm actually doing is giving Timmy, my boyfriend, the power by that situation for me to react a certain way. And that's what I'm talking about, is to allow yourself to not be able to react. If we all had conversations with folks and really thought about, why did that make me upset, that person, the way they said it? Why did that make me sad? Why did that make me happy? Why am I feeling what I'm feeling? In order to do that, you need to know yourself. You need to understand yourself. You need to understand where you've been and why you react. So we are creatures of habit, and we've been conditioned along the way to think a certain thing about a thing. But really, I'm hoping, and through a podcast, I'm hoping that you're thinking for yourself, that actually you're checking. Like if you watch the news and you're a Fox News person or you're a CNN person or whichever you watch, do you ever fact check? Do you ever, or are you the kind of person that you listen to it and you just believe it to be truth? And I'm going to encourage you to, whatever you see, hear, read, believe, that you check it to find out whether or not it is truth or not, number one. And number two, to find out whether or not it's truth for you. Because maybe you're conditioned in a certain thing, but if you really think about it, like perfect example would be religion. Maybe you were born and raised Catholic. I was. I'm not a Catholic. I don't say I'm a Catholic today. I say I'm a Christian. I never thought about, generationally, my family has been Catholic. So I don't ask the questions. Am I truly a Catholic? Do I believe in what the Catholics believe? Do I subscribe to that? So really, you need to be thinking for yourself all the time and making decisions for yourself. And sometimes the decisions that you make for yourself are not mainstream. And I think sometimes we just want to live our lives and we just go with the crowd and do what they do. Sometimes what the crowd does is not right. You need to live authentically for yourself, checking yourself daily and making sure whether or not you're going to run with that crowd or not. That's my thoughts about it. So let's go back to emotions. So if you can dive down into yourself, you can be authentic with yourself. And I'm going to let you know the 12 steps has helped me to actually recognize, to deal with the things, to be able to ask the right questions to myself to find out, why do I react the way that I do in certain circumstances? Why do things offend me or not offend me? Why do they invoke that much emotion? Why does that happen? And really what I'm learning to do, which I'm hoping you do as well, is to be more logical, to listen to the facts. Here are the facts of the situation. And I need to maneuver based on facts, not on emotion. Look, if you choose to live your life emotionally, by all means, you can do that. But I'm going to tell you, you're probably not living a true, authentic life. I have friends that they're emotional about everything. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes I don't want to hang out with them. If it invokes so much emotion that you're bitching about this and then you're moving on and you're happy, but but then you're complaining again and it's this and it's that. And there's not really a cohesive thought. It's just you completely moving on emotion throughout your day. I don't believe that's the life to live. And I don't believe that's the life that the Lord wants us to live too. We are not to be emotional beings that much. I mean, of course, yes, we have emotions, but how do you respond? How do you respond in certain situations that instead of something that invokes anger in you, that you go, okay, let me take a step back for a second. Why does that make me angry? Is it that person truly, or is it me? Is what they're saying making me angry because maybe they're telling me truth about something and I don't want to hear the truth? Because what I find is when you're truthful with people in all situations, people don't like to hear the truth. It sounds like anger, I guess. That's how they take it. They get angry. And what's happening is, I believe they know it's truth. They don't want to accept it. They're not ready to accept it at that point in time. But you need to check yourself about emotions and why you feel the way that you do based on certain situations, things that are said. Here's what I am going to tell you, and this is what I've learned. If something that invokes such a reaction in me, or an emotion, a strong emotion, I'm really learning to find out, why am I feeling that way? And really, in situations, not to react or respond just yet, but to take a moment to think about what is transpiring, why am I feeling that way, and to figure out, why is that? If you can figure that out for yourself, let me tell you, you can live a more joyful, peaceful, happy life, that you're not subscribing to that. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. Like in the situation where I talked about Tim. If he says something to me which invokes anger and I just react based on whatever, here's what's really happening is I'm allowing him to control me, to actually control. Maybe I get anger. It's whatever he's doing that's actually kind of controlling me to do that reaction. And I'm going to tell you, at this point in life, I'm not going to allow anybody to control me but that dude. That's the only guy. He's got all the control. He's my boss. He's my everything. And that's the only guy that I really need to be chatting with. And so he's the only one that controls me. And so I advocate, dig down deep to walk this way. I'm going to tell you, it's a learned practice. But once you can get this down, it truly is freeing in so many ways. I remember, I kind of now talk about my past life and my life now. My past life is my life with Steve. My life now is my rebirth, my new chapter, my best life. But my past life, I noticed that basically I lived in emotion. I thought logically at times, but mostly everything was emotional. Somebody said something, a transaction, something happened, I'm reacting, I'm doing that. And whether or not it was the best response. Here's a perfect example right now. I've got an agent on the team that we've got a loan officer that is actually giving us a bunch of BS. We know he's incompetent. We know he hadn't originated loans. We know the agent's incompetent. Guys, y'all might be like, I can't believe this girl's talking like this. Man, this is just true and real. That's okay, they're incompetent. They need to be in the business for more years. They need to do more deals. They need to originate more loans, and they need to learn. So those people that just do it, but you're not looking for outside help or sources to get more information to help you to be as informed that you can be, I think that's on you. That's your bad. But anyway, so one of the agents is going through this. The loan officers continually like, oh, I'm giving you updates, but they're not. They'll say, hey, I'm going to give you an update on this day. We allow them the time frame that they need to give an update, and then they never give the update. So then we're emailing again or contacting to go get information. So this agent decides, hey, I'm going to do a tactful email to this person because they are asking for an extension. This is the second extension on closing the transaction, and these people are no further than they were day one. So because of that, this agent prepares an email, very tactful, all facts, and sends it. Very nice. Actually, it's not dissing on anybody. It's not anything. Here are the facts. Here's what the seller's willing to do based on where we've been. That loan officer reacted to the email almost instantaneously and started blaming. This, that, you've done this, you've done that, this, that. This is a perfect example of what I'm speaking about. This person is not doing their job, and when somebody called him on it, tactfully, not aggressively, not harshly, not mean, just brought it to their attention, they attacked. The loan officer attacked. This is somebody that this agent did an email, facts. It invoked anger. Why? Why did the dude get anger? Because he knows he's not performing. They know they're not performing. They also know they're not competent enough to get the job done. Now maybe they're getting information now because that's why they're saying we need an extension. We have to do this. We have to do that. We have to do this. We have to do that. Dude, you've had 30 days to do this shit. Why are we just hearing this shit now? Sorry for the cuss words, but that's what it is. So here's what happens. So it's the blame game. So now he's blaming because why? He's not doing the right thing. He's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, and he's getting emotional and he's reacting. And so this email back to us was this guy blaming. Now, the agent has already prepared another email and has texted to me, which, once again, is facts. Look, you can't debunk the facts. The facts are the facts. And so because of that, this is what I'm talking about, emotions. Like logical is getting facts, taking all the facts, discerning what needs to be discerned with that so that you can push the information and back out. We need to be doing this. We, as human beings, need to be more logical than emotional. Yes, we have emotions. Don't think I'm saying don't be emotional or whatnot. We have emotions, but it's how do you deal with those emotions on a daily basis? And do you react every single day because you're such an emotional person? Or do you sit back and think about things that are happening so that you can be logical about what your response is and the facts of the matter? And so I just want to kind of bring this to your attention so that you can live a happier life by not being so emotional. And I thought, that is so fitting that this guy last night had a sweatshirt on that said, emotions are fleeting. So what does that mean? They come and go, and they're usually not there for that long. So if you take that moment to take a step back and somebody makes you angry, emotions are fleeting. Wait a second. Gather yourself. Don't be emotional. What is the true way to respond to that person? And know that we should be responding in love in everything. That's what God's all about. Love. If you look at the 10 Commandments, love, 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 honor, love. Yes, there's supposed things you shall not do, but it's mostly about love. And it's about bringing other people to him. It's about loving your neighbor. God is all about love. And so we need to move through our lives compassionately with love. And I'm finding that the folks that true God warriors or true people that are authentic with themselves, some navigate completely with love. Some navigate with love, but truce and harshness. So it depends on who God has made you, on how you're going to respond to different things, situations, and whatnot, and how God made you. I truly believe that. But here's what I'm going to say. What I'm experiencing and walking through the 12 steps is changing my life. I know I probably seem like a broken record on this podcast, but I just can't express this enough. I mean, I want to shout this out on the rooftops. Anybody that'll stink and listen to me, like, this is the way to have a true connection with the Lord. This is the way to truly walk. You know, here's the thing. Stephen Furtick last night, fantastic message, but it's organized religion. I look at that packed house and I think, I know how much I paid for those tickets. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. You know, if that ministry actually uses that money for good to help people, if he's doing all that to get that money to truly help people in his community or give to, children or whatever his cause may be, and I don't know what his cause is, if that's the case, then I think that is a beautiful thing. But if that ministry is doing that just to pad the church and their bank account, I don't think that's truly right. That's my thoughts about it. Yes, he's in a profession, that's what he does, but I think that doing ministry work and having a monetary anything associated with it is not bad, as long as it's being used in the right manner and what it's supposed to be used for and in what Jesus says to do. So those are my thoughts about it. I want you guys to check your emotions daily and really look at yourselves every day, your interactions, and find out, are you a completely emotional person and do you react? Are you a person that, in your situations looks at it, takes a second to think about it, process it, and then actually responds? That's what this is about. We're going to give you tips on another episode about how to truly maneuver this situation, how to change the way to really look at your emotions and change that. But this one is about emotions are fleeting, and I want you to be aware, because what I find is people are not even aware about themselves. They don't even take the time to look at themselves or go, why do I respond the way that I do? Why do I do the things I do? Why is this? Why do these things offend me? Why do these things make me happy? Why do these things, you don't even know yourself well enough to be able to answer those questions about yourself. So this podcast is just about thinking about, am I truly an emotional, or am I more of a logical person, or how do I work? We start there first, and then we build on it from there. All right, guys, look, if I'm bringing you content that you like, please like, subscribe, push the notification button. We'll be more than happy to We'd be more than happy to speak with you as well. Like, if you put some comments, I'd love to dialogue with you guys, kind of think about what you guys think about these podcasts, and or is there anything that you'd like to hear us talk about? I know that a lot of this is about my personal experience, and I am going to let you know and touch base on this one more time. I'm going to tell you, the Lord told me through journaling, praying, and meditating, and going through this process to do the Divine Design podcast. Now, remember, I'm a real estate girl. That's all I've ever done for 30 years. I don't know podcasts. I don't know divine design. What the heck are you talking about, Lord? I don't even know how to navigate through there. Now that we're actually doing this, just know it's like a whole other job. I run a real estate team, and then to add this on top, I'm like, Lord, what are you doing? But also in that journaling, he gave me the topics, what we're supposed to do. And he's told me through my discerning, because remember, we got 3 voices in our head, and they're always continually, talking, you, God, and the devil. And it's which one do you listen to? And if you don't even know which one is which, you need to ask the Lord. You need to pray to him to help you with discernment and wisdom to know the difference between those voices so that he can help you to maneuver, help other people in your life as well. And so that's my thoughts about that. But anyways, I just wanted to share with you about that. I know it's about my personal experience, but this is what I'm supposed to do. And I am trying to be an obedient child of God and do what he tells me to do. Until I get in journaling, like do something different or do this with divine design or whatever that may be, this is what it's going to be for now. So, all right, guys, I hope y'all have a fantastic day. Love, peace, respect. Until next time, guys, have a great one.